Welcome back to the channel. It's CTO. Megaton Musashi Wired is on the way, and I've been playing the early access on PS5 and streaming it on Twitch, and it's been about what I've expected. I wanted to clear up some things I got wrong or misconceptions I had in the first video I made so that people can get to know what they're about to get into before they cop this game, and so that y'all know if this game is worth it for you. Now this is going to be from the perspective of the early to middle parts of the story. There's a lot of stuff to cover in this game, so I'm not going to be able to get through all of it in this video, or else this video would be super long. So I'm going to try and wrap things up and keep it as short and concise as possible. Now I have not tested the multiplayer at all. This is solely the single player experience. I will make another video covering the multiplayer experience when I experience it, and yes, that includes PvP. First, I want to talk about the story. The story is structured in a visual novel style, but imagine you're playing the visual novel itself. I'll have some story gameplay in the background so you can kind of get a reference of what I'm saying. You have an overworld that is 2.5D. It functions similar to Persona, but without the calendar mechanic where the story is paced behind the days passing by. Instead, it's focused around you doing enough main story quests to fill up the Musashi meter. At the bottom right of the screen, you'll see like the mecha meter at the bottom right. You want to fill that up. Once that is filled, you're able to go ahead and start the next major story based fight, whether that's a boss fight or just kind of a progressive mission, and they sort you out on to protect the settlement and stuff like that, because that's the whole point of the story. There's also fast travel, a whole bunch of open zones to explore inside the open world. So you have like the shopping district, your schooling district, and you have a couple of other collectibles and stuff like that that you can collect in the open world as well. It's not empty. There's a lot of NPCs for you to actually interact with. And speaking of NPCs are in different locations depending on if it's night or day. And they also have different dialogue as well, so that's pretty good as well. Now the way it's presented is a bit boring at first, but it turns up when they start showing the animated cutscenes from the anime to cover the important parts of the show. On the bar at the bottom of the screen, that also tells you how long you have until your next combat-based mission. Is a cool feature as well. So you know when it's time to stop role-playing sitting at the movies, you know what I'm saying? Second is the motherboard system. The motherboard system has a subsystem called motherboard circuits. This system is essentially your skill build or skill tree system where you unlock nodes, and as you unlock nodes, you are given that chip. Those chips will range from range and melee bonus or melee damage bonuses, crit bonuses, loot drop bonuses, upgrades to combos when using certain weapons, or new special skills to use in battle, and even more as well. What you'll do with these chips is you'll socket them into your motherboard to craft a build centered around a certain playstyle. Obvious examples of those playstyles being like a range build, melee build, skill build. Some of the more like in-depth builds are like a charge attack build, or a rush attack build, or aerial attack or aerial melee attack build. You can kind of build around certain playstyles in that way. There are also different motherboards that hold different slots, and you are able to pick one with the slots that you want and socket it the way you want as well. It's a pretty good system. I definitely will need a video of its own to go into a little more depth into how it works, and probably a pathing and stuff like that for newer players as well. Lastly, I want to talk about the combat. The combat is what you expect. It is really damn smooth, extremely responsive. Everything is responsive. Combos are very simple in the beginning, but will get more complex as you open up the skill tree system, giving you extended combos and more launchers for your guard break. Your special skills work similar to Gundam Breaker 4. You have one bar that is shared between all your special skills. They cost a certain amount of bar to use, and they have very low cooldowns. You're able to customize and use 3 different rogues mid-combat, while in single player, which allows you to use 3 different builds simultaneously. You can also have 3 different range weapons and melee weapons per suit, so combat can feel completely different depending on how you've customized your rogue. And although there are only about 5 different melee and range weapon types each, I think shotgun, hand cannon, bazooka, and there's 2 others for range. And you have dual swords, sword and shield, you have great sword, lance, as well as knuckles for melee. But there's a lot of variations to how the weapons look. Although the melee weapons will all function the same, the range weapons will function differently depending on which one you have. So you can have a shotgun that is a beam shotgun that's very good at tracking enemies from far away, or a traditional shotgun that's more the in-your-face and spray and pray type of play style, depending on which type of shotgun you have. So while there's only about 5 different types of those weapons each, there's a lot of variation, and you'll also be able to find something that does fit you and does play a little different, even if you are using the same weapon archetype as somebody else. Because of this variation, I can't wait to see what my end game build is going to look like and what my build will be capable of. Quick side note on PvP, it does seem to be very equalized. You're able to get PvP only gear that drops level 1, or at least the ones that I have gotten have dropped level 1, but it does have different rarities on them and passive stats. I'm very interested in PvP to see what it's all about, so I'm going to try and grind the game out hard just so we can get into PvP and see what PvP is hitting for. It does have its own skill tree as well as its own motherboard system as well, so I'm very interested to see what that looks like and whether anything from the melee side or whether from the range side as well, the PvE side of the game will carry over to PvP, or if everything is just going to be equalized on its own end in the PvP side. Thank y'all for watching as always. If y'all enjoyed the video, drop a like or a sub. I would greatly appreciate it. We are super close to 300 subs, and to be honest, I can't thank y'all enough for the amount of support that y'all have dropped on the channel, truly. Let me know if y'all are interested in seeing more Megaton Musashi content. Also, let me know if y'all are interested in seeing any Blue Protocol content. If y'all have been subbed on the channel for a while, you know that Blue Protocol was my main game. I made a new account to try out the new class Beat Performer that does come out tonight. I will be streaming that on Twitch as well at CoreCTO TTV. That is my YouTube name with the TTV at the end on Twitch. So thank y'all again for watching. I'll catch you on the next video, and peace.